This is John for Global Women's Sports Radio. Today I have the pleasure of being on the beat with new assistant softball coach at UIC, Kayla Wedl. How are you?
I'm wonderful, having a great time, coaching softball and still being around the game. So
How does that sound, assistant coach Kayla?
it happened very fast, so it was quite shocking, honestly. Coach came to an AU game asking if I was interested, and I was like, I never thought I would do this, honestly, but let's go for it. And I'm really glad I did.
Now, is it a challenge for you? You're coaching some players that you were teammates with.
Yeah, a lot of people ask me that, but honestly, I think there's so many positives to it because they're comfortable with me. They trust me, they knew me for 5 years, most of them. Um, and I think people think, oh, they saw the social side of Kayla, but they know the lines that they're not supposed to cross and they know the boundaries and respect me and know what I'm here for and what they're here for. So it's really good.
And what about the other side of that? You're coaching now under your former coach.
hmm Same thing, like super comfortable. She made the transition really easy for me. And because I knew the program for the last 5 years, going on six now, it was a super smooth transition and there's already trust there. So super easy.
And when you were still in school, you were the president of the Student Athletic Advisory Committee. Did
hmm
that help you in your beginning your coaching career, like your strategy, your mental state?
Definitely. I think I learned so much from SAC. Because even prior to being president, I was just in it as a member. And then I gradually went up the ladder and I had so many interpersonal skills that I learned there, whether it was just social interaction in general. I got a lot of administrative work done. So that was helpful in the transition to the coaching world because there's way more administration work. Um, but even just personal like coaching, and I had the freshman mentor group that I worked with. So that kind of little skills from that helped bring into coaching.
And is coaching something that you definitely want to do, or is this sort of a trial to see how it works for you?
Yeah, I'm gonna test it out for the next couple of years, see what goes on, see what opportunities open up. Um, I think once I have a family, it'll be different of my own and husband and kids. But until then, this is what we'll do.
And has there been any major surprises? I mean, obviously you've been around the softball field, for many years. Has there been any major surprise when you started coaching?
Um, Not yet, really. I mean, honestly, like I knew the time commitment because I was just in it. I knew I've been around it for how long now. So honestly, no. I guess how much goes on behind the scenes is surprising, like getting the travel ready and just like all the little tedious things that have to go on that student athletes don't know. And it makes you really grateful and appreciative for it because you get things handed to you, not knowing what the work that went behind the scenes went on.
And I know it's still early in the season, but could you give us a little scouting report on the team? How does the UIC team look?
They're looking good. They're strong. They're young, but that I think has benefit because they're fresher. They're like their bodies are ready for more. Whereas if you have an older team with full grad students and fifth years, they can wear down easier. So I think it's great that we're young. Um, Still a lot of learning to do. It's only week 2 though, so that's good. It's what these tournaments are for, preseason, but I'm really excited. They're ready to kick butt in the last season of the Horizon League and just get after it.
And now last season you played with Athletes Unlimited.
hmm
Aside from, I'm going to ask you to talk a little bit about your experience there, but my first question is um, going from traditional softball scoring to that new system. How big of a transition, or what kind of change did it change you at all in mindset when you're playing?
Um, yes and no. I mean, you definitely just play it like normal. Like it feels normal. You're not like looking at the scoreboard thinking about really like, oh, I need this amount of points, this amount of points. Everyone's there to just play and win. Because in the end, you're gonna get the points if you're winning. So if you just keep it that way, it's pretty simple and whatnot. But when it comes to, when those innings roll over and it keeps happening and happening, you got to start like making riskier moves, I guess, so especially in base running. If you need that one run and you got to push it across, and your offense is just not, you got to start stealing, making risky runs. So I'd say it was different in that way, where like in the normal game, you're not thinking like, oh, we have to score this run this inning, but in there, you're like, we need it now.
Do you think there's room for both styles, or do you think that might eventually become the norm?
I think it's good to have the two different routes. I think that should stay within AU because it's kind of their brand and identity. But then college, high school, and whatnot, I think they should not ever. I mean, they can implement it in practices. I think that's awesome because it comes down to like an execution game in a way. But I think they should be two separate identities.
Now you're used to it. You're used to playing in front of a local type crowd at UIC. But how was it playing in AU in Rosemont? I was there for your first game. I know you had a bunch of family and friends out there. How was that experience?
Oh, it was awesome. It was every weekend. Like I could turn to my left to see my mom, dad, sister, her brother-in-law, my best friend. Like it was just count. Like I would be getting texts, oh, we're coming to the game today. I had like 10 high school friends that I hadn't seen in a few years just show up. And I had no idea they were coming. And it was just awesome to see the support, especially being the local kid, continuously day after day. And I had even high school teachers come. I had my UIC softball team came prior to me getting the job. So it was just awesome. And it honestly made it that much more fun.
And when you're not coaching, when you're not focused on softball, what do you like to do in your spare time to relax and unwind?
Well, I'm blessed to live in the city for the 6th year in a row. So we have so much to do here. I actually live with 2 AU teammates. So we try to go out, go to the lake, do what when it's nice out, not now because it's terrible weather.
It's a little chilly right now.
Yeah. But we try to go out, go to coffee shops, just adventure, explore, and try to get as much done as we can while we all live together.
Do you know if you'll be back for the next season of AU softball?
I don't yet. None of us do. We are hoping to, but it's honestly a waiting game. Yeah, they don't tell you a date. So we just go live our lives coaching, doing our jobs, and wait for an email.
Well, I know I'll be hoping that you're out there. I know another one of your fans, Mike Gilmartin. He said to say hi to you. I talked to him the other day. Big fan of yours.
Yes.
So he's also hoping, and we're hoping that you get out there because it was fun seeing you. It was amazing to see all the crowd really cheering for the hometown girl. I know like you and Abby's also, from around here. So it's really special to see you guys out there. And I for one, hope that you're back, but I will also be at UIC. I will be checking some of your games out there, following you guys along.
Awesome.
I appreciate your time. I wish you a lot of good luck in the season. And, hopefully you'll hop back on later in the season and see how everything's going.
For sure. I appreciate your time and inviting me on here, and I'm very appreciative of it. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.
You too, Coach. Take care. Thank you.
Hey, thank you. See ya.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.